consider me the hand of the Lord.
Well, one minute I was pouring down that red eye, and next thing I knew, I was upside down in that alley. That's the whole story.
Not quite the whole story.
Excuse me?
You don't strike me as a wastrel, Mr. Cody. Something pretty powerful must have driven you to dive so deep into that bottle.
Well, a close friend of mine died, Mr. Poole. A great man named Hezekiah Horn.
Hezekiah Horn is dead?
Yes, by his own hand.
Why?
He shot and killed his only son.
Oh, dear God.
But that weren't the only reason. He was eaten up by the way our country's going to ruin, and that he was powerless to do anything about it.
Tragic end to a great man.
Yes. He was a great man.
Though, I have to be honest with you, Mr. Cody, I don't share in the same despair that Hezekiah must have felt at his end. These are challenging times, and I feel obliged that good men should rise up and overcome these powerful influences that are so hell-bent on destroying this beautiful land of ours. You have gone and launched into a sermon in the middle of your dinner. Forgive me, Mr. Cody. Perhaps I should be saving all this hot air for tomorrow afternoon.
What's tomorrow afternoon?
I'm going to be speaking over at Blanchard Falls. Come by if you're so inclined. It might be of interest to you.
Thank you. Maybe I will.
Get a good rest.
I wish I could repay your kindness, but I've lost all my money.
There's no need. Your acquaintance is repayment in full.
And as I look down on this happy couple here today, I'd like to offer a few personal reflections on the hallowed institution of marriage, with which I am so very familiar, having traveled down that sacred road on 6 occasions myself. And yes, though I'm loath to admit that none of those heavenly bonds took root, I beseech you not to lose faith, but to take heart. For if nothing else, the odds are on our side that this will turn out good.
Amen.
And so do you, Millicent Ermengarde Owen. Take this man, Barnett Hampton, to be your lawfully wedded husband.
I do.
And to you, Barnett Hampton, take this woman, Millicent Ermengarde Owen, to be your lawfully wedded wife.
I
do.
Do.
Good. And so, by the power vested in me by the territorial governor, I now pronounce you man and wife. Kiss the bride, Barnett.
These two can't get hitched. That's my wife. I saw a new Jerusalem coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned to meet her husband.
You tell it, brother. You tell it now. You listen to this man.
And I heard a great voice coming out of heaven from God saying, "Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he shall dwell with them and be their God." God shall wipe away all the tears from their eyes.
Amen.
And there shall be no more death.
That's right.
No sorrow, no crying, nor shall there be any more pain.
You tell it, brother.
For the former things are washed away.
That's right.
Yes, yes, brother.
But for the fearful and the unbelieving
and the abominable, and the whoremongers, and the murderers, and the idolaters, and all the liars, for they shall have their place in the lake that burneth with fire and brimstone. And with mercy in my left hand, and with justice in my right, I shall be his terrible, swift sword of righteousness.
Finally, I summoned my courage and asked her to be my missus. She accepted. We exchanged vows. We lived together as the most contented husband and wife in the territory till that dreadful day when she disappeared. Ever since, my life's been utter torment.
Barnett,
Teaspoon?
you want to tell your side of the story?
I guess.
Where'd you meet?
Church social.
She approached you?
Teaspoon?
Forgive me, you struck up a conversation with her. What happened then?
Paid court.
Where'd you do that?
Boarding house.
Not in her room, I assume.
Front parlor.
You gave her gifts,
Tried.
but...
She wouldn't take them.
And then one day, you proposed marriage,
Yep.
and she accepted.
Made that day the happiest of my life.
Since she ain't your wife, and she never will be, she's mine. Liar! You think you...
Lucius, Barnett, stop it. Now, Lucius, I hate to inform you, but by your own logic, I wouldn't be any more married to you than I am Barnett.
Why not?
Because I had 7 husbands by the time I met you.
Okay, here I come. What's so funny?
The long johns. Kid, it ain't like I never seen you without 'em on before. That's better already.
You ain't hiding a couple of husbands on me, are you?
Kid, I ain't lived long enough to have a couple of husbands.
No, but you're pretty enough to have a couple hundred.
Kid, what's wrong with you?
I just don't feel right.
Sure feels right to me.
Oh, yeah. Just ain't the way I was brought up. I was taught that when a man and woman ain't been doing what we've been doing, that it ain't proper unless...
Excuse me, kid, but you ain't fixing to propose.
No. Well, maybe... I guess not. Well, yeah, maybe I am.
Well, then I'm afraid I won't be able to accept.
Why not?
Because where I was brought up, I was taught that when a man comes proposing, it's supposed to be on bended knee.
I love you.